My name is Mukesh, and I'm a finance professional, and I live in Bangalore. So I've been a diabetic for last, let's say, 10 to 12 years, and I've been always struggling with this problem. It gets better sometimes it's not so good. So recently, after COVID, I think it got a bit worse because I was not able to take care of my routine and my food. 9 months back, it shot up to 8.4, and I was worried. I went to my doctor, and she suggested me that, okay, it's getting a little bit out of control. Instead of medication, we need to look at some other alternatives and some better ways to manage it. That's how she recommended me to join SugarFit, and that was my introduction to SugarFit. So the program started with a machine called CGM, which they put on the arm. So what this machine does, that it takes my sugar level or records my sugar level on a regular basis. So someone from the SugarFit team comes in regularly and takes the reading, or we can take it through the phone also. Now, what it does, that it's taking that the sugar it's recording the sugar level on a continuous basis. With that, there is an app where we need to record what we are eating and what kind of physical activities we are doing. So all this comes together, and there is a report which comes out. It's a nice dashboard which has got the chart. There is a chart which is showing the sugar level. Now, when we look at this on a let's say 14 days time frame, that's the period they recorded. We are able to see what is happening with our body. So if I ate something which is not good for the body, it shows then the sugar level is going up. For me, I always thought a little bit of khichdi is also okay, but it didn't work for me. It may work for someone. So I stopped eating that. So what I'm trying to say is that it shows the good things and the bad things which is happening with the body. And it's some kind of self-realization which happens when you are seeing that, right? It's quite analytical. So that's the best thing about it. So really helps in terms of figuring out ourselves what we should do and what we should not do. The old one is 8.4 and the current one is 6.2. 8.4 is when I started this program, and 6.2 is the last week result. The old one, when I started this program, I was around 120 to 130. That was my fasting sugar level. And now I'm around 95 to 105. 73 is the weight. When I started, yesterday when I checked it, and now I do it every week, every morning. 63 kg is my weight now. I stopped my cholesterol medicines, and I was taking Janua and Forxiga. Those were my sugar medicine, and that got stopped. So I'm free of medicine right now. Feeling physically much fit and better than what I used to be 9 months back. I took this program to manage my sugar levels, but this is just one side of it, right? Normally, when I go to doctor, what she looks at is that, okay, what my sugar level is. That's what doctors are more concerned about. But what I saw with this program is there are a lot of other benefits, right? And sometimes we do not even talk about it. One of the things I will say is that when I go to gym, right, with my eating habits, I really feel my energy level has gone up. I played with some of the folks who are, younger than me, half of my age, 1/3 of my age. But when I run shoulder to shoulder with them, I feel very good about it. The most important thing which I realize that how happiness this thing gives you is then when you go to a market, buy a shirt which is smaller size than what it used to be. Not only your sugar level is taken care of, your internal organs are taken care of, but it gives you a lot of positive vibes around yourself. In this whole program, I think the most important thing is, to have a very good coach or life coach, as they say, or health coach. Whatever name we call our coach. I call her coach, and her name is Neha Kapoor. Now, if you see the whole program, right, you talk to your doctor only 3 or 4 times once in a year. But who is constantly with you is your coach. Neha was always with me throughout the last 9 months, checking with me almost on a daily basis. We meet at least once in a week and sometimes twice in a week. And most of the time, I do not call her, she calls me. And that makes a lot of difference because, and when you are put on a tight regime, you try to, avoid, your coach or your teacher or someone who is really, keeping an eye on you. So as I said, the role of the coach is important, and the coach who is assigned to you is also important, right? Because you can define the roles and responsibilities. But if the coach is not really, not with you throughout and doing what she's supposed to do, it's not going to make a difference. So she not only worked with me, but also with my wife in terms of, what is really going to work, what we can, really do at home, because few things, even it gets suggested it may not work in the home, right? Because the kind of food we eat and the kind of habits we have at home, and we have full family, right? So we need to look at each and everything. So more than me now, I think she knows, what goes in our house because she knows how my wife operates, how she runs the house. So that really worked well. But also, the constant motivation that comes from her, the checks she makes on a regular basis, whether I'm following my regime, whether I'm taking my medicine on time, whether I'm doing my physical activities, or I'm checking my sugar on a regular level. What is also important is the noting down what I'm eating. So that that is a regular check from her side. So when I started this program, Neha is my health coach. She was assigned to me. And she asked me to make a lot of changes, not only how I eat and what I eat, and also about the various physical activities that I'm supposed to do. I'm generally physically active, but I think I need a bit more of discipline around that. So let me start with the food first. So food is something which I really like, and I think everyone likes that. So she constantly made me understand that why it is important, and also motivated me to make certain changes. So the 3 things which she made me to do: number 1, she put me on a grain-free diet. That worked for me, and also it was okay for me because I was already not eating rice or and was mostly on millets. But she in fact asked me to stop that also. So I was completely not on sugar or rice and wheat also. For me, it was mostly eating chapatis with besan. So that's what I did. Not an easy thing to do, but over a period of time, I got used to it. The other thing which she did is she asked me to increase my fiber intake, so I was eating a lot of vegetables. Again, not an easy thing to do, but as I saw the results when I used to take my morning fasting sugar, and able to correlate to what I'm eating and what is coming out in the results. I really started sort of enjoying that game of what you're eating and what is coming in the results, so you can see it on a daily basis. So that worked for me. And then the third thing is the protein intake, because it's increased my physical activities. I was asked to take more protein, so that's the third thing. So the combination of multigrain diet, multigrain food, fiber and the protein, I think that helped me, which you can see, and I talked about it in my results also. So that's number 1 on the food side of it. The other thing which I've changed is the physical activities. I used to go for walk and games and all that, but I made it a bit more regular, in the sense that that's what she told me, that I need to be consistent. So how it works, that I go for 3 days. I go to gym for 3 days, which is my Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. 2 days, Wednesday and Friday, I go and play football in the morning. I have a group, so these guys I go and play. And weekends are where walks with with one of my friend. We go. So that's sort of ecosystem I created, and all thanks to my coach, how she guided me, and the kind of tips she gave me in terms of what will work, what will not work. I would say not an easy thing to do, but if we see the results which we see on a daily basis, and that really triggers and motivates to make these changes. So that's how, these are the changes I made, and I think I'm quite used to it now, and hoping that I can continue throughout my life. So I will recommend SugarFit to anyone who is going through issues or the sugar levels, or the complication with the sugar levels. I went to my office after 2 years. People asked me what happened. You are looking younger, or someone said, okay, everything is okay with you. I said, no, it's all by design. So then they ask, what are you doing? So immediately I tell them, and I'm on SugarFit program. I'm able to reduce my sugar level, and they ask, right, because these problems are there in most of the families these days. So now people will they ask, what are you doing and what changed, and they can see the results. So I'm already doing it, and I'm telling my family, my friends, everyone that okay, if you are if you want to make some changes, I would always recommend to take this program. So I would like to thank my doctor, Dr. Chavi Mehra. She put me into this program. Thank you for that. My life coach, Neha Kapoor, for constantly guiding me and motivating me. And not but the least, my wife, Preeti, for taking care of my whims and fancies and always being with me in last 9 months while I was going through all these changes. So thanks to all the three goddesses, as I said. Thank you.